What's going on? Good to see y'all.
All right. See you. Drake, we haven't seen you in a bit. Just kind of, what are your first impressions of Coach Vrabel? What it's been like for you so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been great with Coach. He's come in here and it seems like he's been here a while. He's so comfortable being in head coach. He's done it before. He's done it at high level, won a lot of games. So I'm looking forward to getting things going. You can see he's trying to kind of install the new identity, and I think we're building towards that and just working and just trusting in his ways. And I think everybody's kind of catching the stride as we come off the first week of phase 2.
When you hear Will Campbell say, "I will fight and die to protect my quarterback,"
Yeah, listen to it live. I mean, man, that gets you going, gets your juices going. I think it makes you want to go out there and play football now. Pumped that we picked Will, and we got a chance to meet him when he came in and flew in on Friday. So pumped to get things going, and obviously it seems like a football player. That's what you want around here.
What's it been like working with Josh McDaniels so far?
Yeah, it's been great. I think the guys last year I really enjoyed, and so far Coach McDaniels, it's been awesome. I think he. His ways, he does it. He's been offensive coordinator, been head coach, does it at a high level. His stuff works. The kind of proofs in the pudding. He's coached a lot of different guys. He coached the best to ever do it. So it's pretty cool getting to watch, old things Tom and see how he does it. And a bunch of different guys play at a high level in the offense. Not just Tom. So it's been cool to watch and kind of learn the ways and learn the kind of ins and outs of it.
What's been the biggest challenge there so far? How's it gone in terms of just understanding his language?
Yeah, I think just translating the language. I think a lot of the NFL is the same type of concept or same run game. Just how they call it, how the verbiage, get rid of what we called it last year and kind of install, especially teaching these other guys. And, we try to stay ahead of the quarterback. So just teaching them, the right verbiage and not try to revert back to, hey, we used to call it this, now we call it this. Just try to kind of switch the lingo completely and just kind of, revert to the new way and kind of don't speak in the past.
Your teammates have mentioned how much you've grown as a leader this year. I'm wondering, is that something you've been focused on, and what goes into trying to be a leader when you are?
Yeah. I mean, not something that, obviously, comes with position, and, I like to, hopefully call myself this year a leader, and I think working towards that. I think just earning the guys' respect, a lot of new faces in here, come in here and work hard and, show those guys that we picked up in free agency or the rookies or guys we picked up, just kind of my work ethic. I think kind of, start from that standpoint, show the coaches. I think once you get, new staff and new players, you want to show them, hey, it's not relaxed time. I think, once you're going to be the starter, just, keep things, pushing forward and, whether it's saying more than, and whether in walkthrough or little things like that, just kind of build that and not focus too much on it. Just hopefully it comes natural.
Drake, you mentioned the guys that you added in free agency, this offseason, rookies. What do you think about the offseason in general for this team?
Yeah, I think I'm pumped. I think a lot of new faces, a lot of guys, a lot of veterans that played at a high level. I think we kind of found answers a lot of different spots that hopefully can plug and play. And I think that's what the point of free agency is. I think get guys that come here and help us win now. And I think add that in with some young talent that we've had in the past couple drafts, and I think hopefully we're heading in the right direction. So I think that's what us guys in there are working towards. I'm working towards kind of getting to know each other, connect. That's what Coach Vrabel's kind of preaching is kind of learn it and train and connecting. And I think it's been fun to kind of get to know these guys and get to know these guys who've been a bunch of different places. So it's been cool.
When you're looking ahead, but have you taken time to look back, some time and space since the end of the season, and what you would like to improve on, things you want to take away and build on going into the spring?
Yeah, 100%. I think you go back and you see, obviously negative plays or, sacks or, turnovers. I think there's always ways to improve on protecting the football. We're preaching protecting the football. You got to, turnovers in this league are no good. They don't result to wins in this league. So, find a way to protect the football. Find them ways to, hey, it's third down, we're in field goal range. Hey, don't take a sack. Little things like that. I think you can always learn. Especially in also protection wise. Protect myself and it's going to be new Coach McDaniels. Kind of just different protection scheme, different stuff. So just finding ways to learn the in and outs and just like I said, get the guys going on the right page.
Drake, what do you like? You mentioned the protection scheme. Seems like there's a lot on the quarterback pre-snap. What do you like about having the controls there?
Yeah, I think the ball's in my hands. I think you want that. I think I hold the pin last. That's what they say, and I think that's what you want because I got the best view back there. Me, maybe the running back, especially in the gun, but even under center, you got the best view of the defense, and you're the ones that have to know where everybody's at, know really what everybody's doing, or at some point, not exactly maybe the technique exactly up front, but you got a good idea of what they're supposed to do. I think it's great for me to hold the pin last, like I said, and make, hey, if I may see a weak safety coming and the center may not be able to see that, or the coach may not have a seat from the sideline, little things like that. I think it'd be great for me to, take that next step and taking command of, sending the guys up front where to go and who to block. So I'm looking forward to it.
We heard from some of your teammates over the last couple of weeks about music in the hallways, Mike Vrabel calling on guys, kind of cold calling at meetings. How would you describe the vibe very early of Mike Vrabel's football program?
Yeah, I think it's coming here and have your head on the swivel and get to work. I think that's kind of the vibe I've caught. I think there's no spend time outside of when we're in the building. We're phase 1, just finished first week of phase 2, and we're only here for 4 hours. So I think it's kind of really figuring out with the new coaches, who's learning, who's spending time outside of here of learning it, and who wants to help us win when the season comes. And I think that's what they want. They want to get the right guys in here who want to win and know the answers when you cold call them, and who knows who has energy in the hallways. I think you can kind of differentiate between the guys who kind of know when to have fun and know when to put their head down and get things right.
With the added level of investment that this team is being on the offensive side of the ball, is there any added pressure on you going into the season?
Oh, I think there's enough pressure playing this position in this league. I think you take it as there's guys around you that want to make plays and can make plays for you. So I don't think there's any added pressure. I think it's the National Football League, so every week you got to bring it. And I think if there is added pressure, I think you want it. You want the ball in my hands when crunch time.
What's it like working with Stefon Diggs?
Yeah.
How excited were you when they signed him, and what's it like having him?
Sure. Stefon, he's one of those guys growing up, and when I was in high school, he was a young in the league, and had him on my fantasy team, and things like that. So playing with him in Madden, so it's pretty cool to hopefully now this season been thrown to him. He's come back obviously from injury, and looks like he's doing great. He's been around, and I think it's gonna be cool to throw a receiver who's made plays like he has, who's made big plays in playoff games, who's been in a lot of different schemes, who's played with high-level quarterbacks to see kind of his point of view from different stuff, and it's my job to give him a chance and go get it. So.
I'm curious. Well, first off, I want to say congratulations on your engagement.
Yeah, thank you.
But I was curious. You were someone last season, especially at the end of the season, who expressed a lot of faith in Javon Baker and Jalen Cole. Despite maybe a slower rookie season. Have you talked to those guys this offseason? What are you seeing from them, and just what are you expecting from them in year 2?
Yeah, I think those guys that came in with me. They were drafted with me, and we took it upon ourselves as rookies to hopefully kind of set a good standard. And I think I've seen from them is just kind of learning a new offense. I think they're ahead of where they were when we were in the first couple of weeks last year learning the new offense. So I think they kind of have caught the stride of, hey, I gotta be on my stuff, be in the right spot, know what to do, and that's just half of it, making the plays the next part. So I think you definitely seeing kind of a get up from them, and looking forward to getting them into camp and seeing what they can do.
Drake, I'm curious, this offseason, putting the offense together, Josh obviously is going to be leading the charge of that, but has he asked you about things that you like? Do you feel like you have any influence over how that'll come together in terms of your likes and dislikes?
Yeah, I think so. I think coach has been great with asking about stuff I like, stuff I like from last year that we ran, stuff that I like that they do, that I've seen on film. I think it'll be good for us because we'll be able to do a lot. I think it'll be challenging to find out exactly what is going to be kind of our stuff. And I think that's the fun part of it. That's kind of the chess match against defense coordinators that you want to find. But coach is great about finding matchups and kind of exploiting defenses when you may know what to expect. So I think I'm just looking forward to starting the game plan. I know it's far away, but I think you kind of get the itch now.
Any thoughts on the departure of David?
Yeah, David. Man, I think kind of when you think of a veteran and a leader, I think that's kind of the standard I learned from David Andrews. He was great to me. He was one of the first people I met in the locker room. He was here early in the morning. He was I think just the thing about David is he did things outside and took me to dinner and paid for massage from one of the ladies. He just does things that are bigger than football, and I think that's stuff you carry with the rest of your career. And wishing the best to him, and one of those guys I'll keep in touch with a long time. I think he had never. I think I took a couple snaps with him that end of the Jets game, but that next game he obviously got hurt. So it's a bummer not to really get to go out there and battle with him. But hey, it's the National Football League, and these things happen.
The year goes by so quick. You went right into the draft and all the things that went with the draft to here to playing. How did you use the off season mentally to kind of get down a little bit and then get back up?
I think it was a little different because you got to learn a new system. So you have to take a break, maybe through the Super Bowl, and once it got kind of got ended, once Super Bowl ended, you're kind of back into, hey, I got to be on my stuff. So when we get here, at least I sound like I know what I'm talking about with the offense in it. And I think you definitely got to take a break, and I think that's what this 4 days on and 3 days off. You get a chance to hang out or go back home or see different people. And I think that's one of the good things about the offseason. You get a chance to kind of catch a break, and then 4 days on or 5 days, however much you want to work. So I think that's a good time for me to take some time off, but also at the same time, this is what we do. This is what I want to do. So.
Drake, team opted to trade Joe Milton this offseason. What was your reactions?
Yeah, I texted Joe. Me and Joe, we came in together. We learned the offense together. We were competing every day to see who could out throw each other in practice, and obviously he's got a big arm. So it was cool for him to get a chance to go hopefully be a backup. And I think you saw him in the Bills game, his potential, and I think he's fun because we got kind of similar play styles a little bit, and it was fun relating to our similar college offense to this offense, and it was cool to kind of be in the room and have somebody to bounce off ideas or, hey, you remember doing this in college and stuff like that. So, pulling for Joe, and I know probably you never know, maybe play him again or see him down the road. So, thank you. Go Pats.